Hi, it's Caitlin from Caitlin Swatches, and I'm here today with a new collection from Glisten Glow. I have swatches of the new Scarlette's Desert Skies collection, which is just a really nice 6-piece set of jelly polishes in a rainbow of colors. They all have the same finish and they all perform really well. This collection is actually based on a single polish. It's called Rainbow Bridge from the Polish Pickup. I think it was at least a year or so ago. I actually have that polish. I still haven't worn it, but one of Jill's customers and her granddaughter Scarlette love that polish so much, and they asked for an entire collection of polishes based on Rainbow Bridge, and they used one of Scarlette's paintings of a desert as the inspiration, which is just so adorable. The collection is limited edition, so once it sells out, it won't be restocked. It will be available on the Glisten Glow website, which I will link down below. It's launching on April 15th at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you buy the collection, you'll get a bit of a discount. If not, they're $12.50 each. And of course, I use the Glisten Glow Top Coat, which if you're buying this collection, you should buy the top coat if you don't already have it. I love it. And let's get into the swatches. First up, we have Sunrise, and this one is a bright sunshine yellow jelly loaded with a rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. So this polish is a jelly, which means it's going to be a sheer formulation and it's meant to be built up. So these are recommended to be built up in 3 thin coats and then followed by the Glisten Glow Top Coat, which is what I'm going to show you in this video. And as you can see, it does cover evenly on the first coat while it's sheer. And now after a second coat, it's covering well, but obviously my nail line is still visible. And so you definitely want a third coat, but this one probably won't give you full opacity after 3 coats. You can sort of see my nail line and other parts of my nail closer to the cuticle area. So this one would be great if you felt the need. You could layer it over a yellow cream. I am going to use the Glisten Glow Top Coat to smooth everything out. And as you can see, it dries down with a tiny bit of texture just from the flakes. Top Coat will take care of any sort of texture, and it will also help to bring out the hollow, which is just a really nice addition to this polish. And I do really like the iridescent flakes in this. I think it's really beautiful, especially with the yellow base. I do really like yellow nail polish, and I'm always ready to see more yellows in my collection. Here it is in 3 coats plus top coat. You can see that those iridescent flakes definitely shift around through a rainbow of colors. They're nice and visible, and the hollow is definitely there. I didn't have a sunny day, surprise, surprise, to show off the hollow, but it's there and it's just a nice sparkle in the polish. Here we have Afternoon, and this one is described as a light green jelly loaded with a rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. Once again, we have the same jelly formula. This one, again, goes on very smoothly and evenly, but it is sheer and it will require 3 coats to build up. And even on the 3rd coat, at least for the lighter polishes in this collection, you will still see a tiny bit of your nail peeking through, which if you've been here before, you know that I don't have a problem with that as long as the formula is even, which this one is. It self-levels, it's just really easy to work with, and the layers of polish dry quickly in between each coat, and there's no difficulty with removal or anything like that. There are a really good amount of iridescent flakes in this polish. It's definitely not overwhelming. They work really nicely. They don't obscure the base color in any sense of the word, and it just works really well. So that's the 3 coats of polish. It's pretty much opaque, but some people might still see their visible nail line depending on how white their free edge is. And this one, again, smooths out completely with the Glisten Glow Top Coat. And this one is perfect for spring this time of year. It's a beautiful spring green. It's also a very unique shade of green. It's sort of, I guess it's kind of a grass green. It's not like a Kelly green, and it's not a dark green, obviously. It's just a really nice shade of green that almost verges on minty. It's giving a little bit of spearmint. And as you can see in the shade, the flakes stand out really nicely. And it's just a really pretty shade of green, and it's very seasonally appropriate. Here we have Evening, and this one is a bright pink jelly polish with a rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. So this one goes on in the same way. It's definitely sheer on that first coat, but very even, very smooth, very self-leveling. And I love the shade of pink. I don't know if it's just because Barbie is in the news again with the Barbie movie coming out soon, but I've been seeing a lot of Barbie pinks in collections so far this spring, and I am a huge fan of Barbie and I'm a huge fan of pink, so I am very happy to see it. And now if you'll notice, by the time I applied the second coat, this one was actually opaque for me. It does recommend 3 coats, but I really liked how this one covered in 2. I didn't feel a need for a third, and so you might also get opacity in 2 with a shade in particular. And I also really like the way the flakes interact with the base color here. It's sort of blue, and pink and blue look really good together in my opinion, so I think this is a really nice combination of elements. And as you can see, everything is smoothed out with top coat. And here you can also see how it looks in the 3 coats plus top coat under some different lighting. There really is a rainbow color shift in the flakes. For some reason, I didn't fully capture it, but it is there and it just looks good in every lighting. Next up we have Sunset, and this one is a bright coral jelly loaded with a rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. This one is a really interesting shade again. I think it's quite unique in my collection as well. It's described as a coral, but I would almost say it's a sort of orangey shade in some respects, or at least that's how it appears on me. I do really like it. I don't have any colors like this in my collection, so I was happy to add it, and it definitely looks like a sunset. So Jill did a really good job of capturing the inspiration with this polish. And here for this one, we are sort of back to that sheerer formulation, so you will need 3 coats to build everything up. But once again, as you can see, the iridescent flakes match the base color really nicely and look really good. There's nothing overly contrasting, so everything just kind of works together really well. And I really wish we'd had sun so I could have shown off the hollow, but hopefully you can see it. It's there. It's just sort of a sprinkle of it, so it makes it really twinkly and pretty, but it doesn't overpower anything, and it just is really great because who doesn't love a little bit of hollow? Once again, I'm using the Glisten Glow Top Coat to smooth everything out, and clearly it plumps everything up, makes it look really nice and squishy, which is another aspect of these polishes that I like. I like the squish factor in them, and here it is. You can also see how nicely the flakes work with this base color. It's just really pretty, and I'm kind of surprised that I don't have anything like this in my collection because I really like it, and now I'm happy to know that because I will definitely be wearing this one again. And moving along, we have Midnight. This one is the bright purple jelly in the collection with the rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. I really liked this one. So the shade of purple is definitely a deep sort of violet shade. Excuse me, my throat is not fully back to normal, and hopefully it will be soon because doing voiceovers has become really brutal since I got sick. So this one, again, is sheer and it builds up really nicely. Personally, if I was just wearing this without filming my nails, I would probably leave it in 2, but I'm going to show it to you in 3 so you can see how much deeper it gets on the 3rd coat. But if you don't want such an intense shade of purple, you can definitely leave it in 2. And I thought it covered nicely, even though you can sort of see your nail through it. It's just a personal preference. Obviously, after the 3rd coat, it is much more opaque. The purple is deeper and darker. And this one, I don't know if it was my imagination, but I feel like it had more flakes than some of the lighter colors. And I also thought it might have had more hollow. So I don't know if that, again, is just my imagination, but it seemed different to me than the lighter colors. And I personally really like the way it works, at least with the darker shades. And it's just really rich and dimensional. So here it is in 3 coats plus top coat. And last but not least, we have High Noon. And this one is a bright blue jelly loaded with a rainbow of iridescent flakes and a touch of hollow. And I am a huge sucker for this shade of blue. It just is very aquatic to me, and I love the ocean, and it really makes me think of the ocean. So again, a very even formula. It's self-leveling. It goes on, it stays where you put it. It's really easy to work with. And I will recommend building this one up in 3 coats if you want it to be a rich, deeper shade of blue. And it's just really easy to work with. It's a really nice polish. And I just, once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I really love the shade of blue. And I will also note about the formula that I didn't experience any staining with High Noon or Midnight, but I will recommend a good base coat just to prevent any potential staining, because they are richer pigments that are making the colors, at least for Midnight and High Noon. So in order to be safe, I recommend a good base coat that will help prevent any staining. So here it is in 3 coats. Now I'm applying top coat, and you can just see how juicy and squishy it looks after that top coat goes on, which I absolutely love. It makes it look even more aquatic and ocean-like. And here you can just catch those color shifting flakes. They play really nicely with the base color and just work really well. I really like this collection. I think that all of the colors are really beautiful, and while they're all sort of, there's a yellow, there's a blue, there's a coral, there's a pink, they're just really nice colors within the options. They weren't the standard colors. I think they're unique and beautiful. So I really love all of those polishes, and honestly, I'm the kind of person that when I see something that's a rainbow collection, like I just need all of them because I love rainbows, and you can always do like a skittle or nail art with a rainbow of colors. But if I had to pick my favorites, I obviously love the pink one. It's called Evening, and I just love the shade of pink. It also had really good coverage. I think it was one of the only ones that covered completely for me in 2 coats. So I just really like that polish. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you have a favorite, if you're planning on picking up this collection. let me know, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!